whole program dedicated to educating as much as they can individuals to go out into their own eco space, or whatever you want to call it, their sphere of influence, to help the people that mean the most to them, to educate this individual so that individual can then turn to their family and educate them and get everyone that they possibly can meet and interact with the knowledge and education necessary to improve their life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of any other company that's willing to put that much effort, that much money, that much time, that much dedication, that much of a labor force into educating the public, to go out and educate the public to do nothing but create a better society.
What is going on? Hope you're having a fantastic start to the year 2024. Here for the next 2 weeks, every single day, you're going to get to hear a story from someone in the First Phorm Outdoors crew, everyone from the West Coast to the East Coast, north to south, everything in between, bass fishermen, professional bass fishermen, bird hunters, archers, rifle hunters, everything in between, guys, just outdoorsmen in general, outdoorsmen and women. I want you to understand why they have chosen First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors as their company for supplementation, for nutrition, for workouts, and more, just an outstanding community, and why we want you to be a part of it. So not just from me, but from everyone in the crew, again, from all walks of life and everything outdoors that they really enjoy. You're going to find a story that you can relate with, if not more than one. And I hope you enjoy each one of these stories. Here we go. Let's kick off the new year right. And if you want to join us at First Phorm Outdoors on the Facebook group, the link is down below. If you have any questions about supplementation, from the protein sticks to the meat sticks, guys, those are my favorite snacks when we're out and about. Also, energy drinks, if that's your thing. We've got everything from post-workout shakes to, in the app that's less than $20 a month, guys, you get a one-on-one advisor. You get someone to help walk you through your nutrition, someone that will hop on live and not just give you a cookie cutter routine, but something to check in with you on a regular basis so you can accomplish your goals here in 2024. Let's get this started off right with the First Phorm Outdoors crew. Here we go. Hope you enjoy this conversation today and for the next 2 weeks. Let me know what you think. Have a great day. And of course, get out, live your life, and love it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the RedBeard Outdoors podcast. I'm Jonathan, and we've got Tom. He is an outstanding guest that I've got for you guys. He is probably one of the tallest and biggest individuals that I'll have on the podcast for a while. He's a giant of a man. But Tom Hoge, he is part of the First Phorm Outdoors group that we have, just very tight-knit individuals and leaders in the community that I wanted to bring on here, guys, during this week of why First Phorm Outdoors. And why First Phorm, for you guys out there that are starting your journeys in nutrition, fitness, wellness, and you're finding a community that lines up with you. I don't want you to get caught up in all the hype of marketing, etc., but actually finding a good community that will help you get through the rest of the year, accomplish your goals with the outdoors, because obviously you're into the outdoors by listening to my podcast and being here as part of the audience. And I just absolutely feel like First Phorm Outdoors is that group for you. But with Tom is a guy that has gone through his ups and downs as far as fitness is concerned. He's almost 6'3", and he's been as low as 150, 160 pounds at 6'3". And I was telling him before this, the last time I was that weight, I was like in ninth grade. And I'm 5'9", and 5'10" on a good day, right? So there's a big difference there. So he's been from super lean to now just this monster of a guy that has worked through these difficult situations and built himself up. So with that being said, Tom, who are you for people that don't know who you are, and what are you about?
So my name's Tom Hoge. Excuse me. I've been with this group, the First Phorm Outdoors, basically since like its fruition. Like I've known Jake for quite a few years now, and when he kind of came to me with that idea, we actually kind of bonded over Instagram via hunting, via just, I think I'd seen one of his like pretty illustrious and like famous, now if anyone follows Jake, his out west elk hunts with the mules and the whole backcountry, and that was actually, I think, the first thing that actually tied me to him, and we became friends over it. And I'm like, eventually one of these days I'm going to get out there with you. And then through the course of just growing that friendship, he mentioned that he's going to start this Phorm Outdoors deal. And I'm like, well, anything I can do to help, like, that's phenomenal. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Phorm, big fan of their products, big fan of their people, their whole mission statement of helping people that really, really matches my core values as theirs. And yeah, once he said he was down to go, I think I joined him, helping him out in the Facebook group, doing what's considered their Freedom Friday. Uh, and that's just kind of how that started. And basically, just from there, as it's grown, I was actually invited out on a wild card spot to the November Knockdown Challenge last year. And being that I am 6'3", and I think at the time of that, I was about almost 260. So doing those events at that size was definitely not designed for me. I think he actually tailored some of them to me to kind of put me through that ringer. But overall, it's just been a really good experience with them, seeing it grow, seeing the community grow, being a part of it. And again, I just really can't wait to see where it's going. Just because, again, like I said, big advocate for Phorm, what they're all about, and being that they're kind of now moving that whole mantra and whole mission statement into the outdoors is something that's going to be pretty great.
100%. I definitely agree with that. So, you mentioned a couple things here that I want to highlight. You started just chatting with Jake, getting to know Jake, and I think Jake regrets sometimes meeting some of us.
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
when you hold him accountable to his burpees.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely, this is one of those things, guys, I want to highlight with social media, that there's good points to social media if you're actually using it to network with people that I'm sure you would have never met Jake if it hadn't have been for Instagram. I know I would not have ever known about Phorm if it hadn't been for an event that I went to with people that I met through social media, and then was introduced to Phorm, and then of course Phorm Outdoors. So with all of that, being said, guys, just recognize that, use it for good, and it can help you build your friendships and again, this community that we're talking about here with Phorm Outdoors. Now, Tom is into hunting, obviously, went out and participated in the November Knockdown Challenge. I guess the finalists went out to Phorm headquarters. So November Knockdown, by the time this comes out, it's gone. You can start prepping for this year, for 2024. And then getting out to headquarters is an opportunity for winners of each of the weeks. You get out and get to go compete. There's a lot of outdoor style movements that Tom is he's really good at moving weight from here to here, and and a lot of weight, but having to do all that running and carrying and rucking and all of that stuff, probably I could picture Jake catering some of that stuff to you.
Yeah, I was definitely not what you would consider backcountry ready at this time. This was in April. I had been on a bulk for probably 4 months, 5 months. So it's close to the end of my bulk season, my growth season. So again, there was no mentality. I knew I would. Again, it was the very first time they did this. They had a couple wild card positions. They didn't have that this year. They got kind of eliminated those. I was blessed to get one of those, mainly because there's no way I would ever win one of these things. So, like I said, there's just absolutely no way. So, like, getting to do those, like I said, it was definitely a privilege, definitely an honor to be able to participate with some of those insane athletes, because you could literally tell, like, it just wasn't for me. Like, I enjoyed it. I loved it. Put the work. Obviously, the whole big mantra with Phorm is don't quit. And I would have, and that's kind of what we pushed through the whole thing, is like there was no quitting, but there was definitely for me no podium either, and that was completely okay.
Well, with some of the people that were competing, I mean, in this year we had a leaderboard for the November Knockdown Challenge. For people that don't know what that is, I'd highly recommend going and looking it up. We've put a bunch of videos out. You'll be able to see it on YouTube as well. But it's basically, and even if you don't have a bow, you can participate. You're not able to win, but you can participate in the workouts. We strongly encourage that as we continue to grow the community. But this year maybe we didn't have the wild cards, but we did have the community builder, or I can't remember the exact term of it, but the people that were living the lifestyle and not quitting, like what you were saying, and were pushing to their best. There were some literal CrossFit athletes competing in some of these weeks, I think all 4 weeks during the November Knockdown Challenge. So I know I'm not going to beat them, but I still participated and gave it my all every single week, because I wanted to, again, portray that, hey, I'm stressing my body before shooting my bow, and getting and testing myself and getting better, and then participating in the community. Going back to what I was saying about the wild card, it wasn't called wild card, but there were certain people that were able to win prizes because you were living the First Phorm lifestyle, not necessarily because you had the best time that week. And so it's still, I don't want to discourage people from joining, because just because you're not going to have the best time, you should still test yourself, push yourself, and then be a part of that community during the November Knockdown Challenge and whatever other challenges we have coming up here in the next year or so.
I love to touch on that, like, because like I said, I obviously knew I wasn't going to win. You said the same thing, like you knew you weren't going to win. But the whole basis and a big foundation of the First Phorm Outdoors thing is experiencing more, getting uncomfortable, being uncomfortable, or getting comfortable in the uncomfortable. It's not so much about always trying to get to the leaderboard. It's more about seeing what you're made of. Knowing these are hard, knowing these are difficult. Like I said, I don't do these movements. I don't do bear crawls. I don't do jumping lunges. Like, I don't move my body like that. But it's an opportunity to test myself and to push myself to that limit to see just how much I'm willing to go without quitting. Because I'm a big, like, one of the big things that I like, because I'm a coach, I have clients, and one thing I always advocate to them, obviously, is from the no quit, is you need to find that failure point. You need to find where that point is that you're going to break, because that's that point at that moment in time where it's going to show you that you need a little more work, or you're where you need to be. And if you need a little bit more work, you take that failure and you progress through that failure. And this November Knockdown, for me in particular, that's 4 weeks in a row that I can test myself in that regard. And that's why I participate. That's why I always encourage everyone to participate, regardless of what you can do. If you have to scale it, if you, like you said, you don't have a bow and you have to manipulate, and just because I'm pretty sure there was, if I'm not mistaken, there was a way to do each week without a bow. So again, it's just about experiencing something new, being a little uncomfortable, and getting after it.
Yep, exactly, and just being a part of that community. You know, that's the big thing too. So with First Phorm, and everyone out there will know, my big three things are, the community, the quality, of the products, the community of individuals that build up, because even though there are egos and competition involved, I'm not going to say there's not, because it's not Planet Fitness where there's no judgment zone. There's judgment happening, but it's judgment in a good way, where it's like, all right, we know who to judge in what way. Like the way you are, Tom, with Jake, and how hard we are in the accountability group that we have. We wouldn't treat someone that way that is brand new to fitness or brand new to the outdoors, right? Like we know how to scale things, but also we have a good time. And the other thing that I like to mention to people is that it's more of like a brother to brother or brother to sister competition, where we're like, we're going to beat your tail on the court or on the field or on the mountain, but we'll lift you up and then we'll encourage you to get better, so that we also in turn want to get better. Right. And so that's how we treat things, this type of competition. So again, I'm not going to say there's no egos and no competition, because there is, but it's competition in the best sense of the term, with this community, which stands out to me as something that's huge. There's no crabs in a bucket mentality from what I've noticed.
Well, and that's absolutely right. Like, even like when we did the finals last year, you would think it's the finals, right? Everyone's cutthroat. Everyone wants to win. Everyone's going to do everything they possibly can to win. Well, the whole thing started with all of a sudden all of us coming together and doing a prayer together, and praying for each other's safety, and praying for the courage. And everyone gives it their all. No one gets hurt. Everyone has the capability to push as hard as they can the entire duration of the competition, and making sure everyone just gets after it and is safe in the process. Like, that was like one of those things that kind of I'll always kind of hold with me, was that ability that even though we were all competitors, and even though we were all basically against each other, we still had the ability to come together. And that's, I think, a lot of what the First Phorm Outdoors is about. It's about, even though, like I said, even though you have that competition, this is a family, this is a unit, and we're all here as a collective to move the mission of helping as many people in this outdoor space as possible.
Exactly, 100%. And honestly, there was something that was mentioned too. I think it was Dale when Dale was talking about Jeff. So in the finals, so Dale Beatty, for those of you guys that know, and he's going to be on, during this week if he hasn't already been on this week with the First Phorm Outdoors group, but he's an athlete with First Phorm, and he was there, and he said that I want to say it was him, maybe it was Clint, but one of the other competitors said when they saw Jeff, icing his knee, they were like, you know, I got him, right? He's hurt. And that was the thought that crossed their mind. And I can't remember which one. I'm pretty sure it was Dale, but I can't remember exactly who it was. And so again, there is competition, but at the same time, he went over and checked on him like, hey, how's everything going kind of deal, and making sure that things were good. Jeff ended up going on and winning. So I think it was a scare tactic where he was kind of like, I'm not really
He
injured,
did the
but I'm
whole
going to make
pool
the team.
shark deal. He
Yeah.
did the whole
Yeah,
pool
exactly.
shark, like, oh, I'm hurt. I'm really hurt.
Exactly. But no, like it's one of those communities that I can't harp enough that it's all about, the community, the quality, and then of course the education as well, which kind of gets wrapped into community. But I,
Mhm.
I harp on that with people because it's not just trying to peddle supplements, just sell another protein, just do this or that. We actually get in trouble in a way. I mean, you're not like penalized or sent to the corner or anything like that, but like you get a talking to if you just post pictures of like Black Friday deals or whatever, logo that you want to post. You're supposed to educate behind the post as well. They drill that home beyond belief. And I've never worked with, I take that back. I've never worked with a different supplement company that is that way. There are other companies that I work with now that are very much about the education piece of it, but I'd say First Form trumps just about every company that I've known and have worked with or worked for, um, on the education piece. I mean, how do you feel on that, Tom?
I really agree. Well, because I mean, if you look at the structure of First Form as a whole, I don't think we've touched base on this yet, but I have earned my position up to being a sponsored trainer with First Form. Basically, that is they have a, and this is where it's the only reason I bring it up is because it touches basically exactly what you're saying. Is they have a whole program dedicated to educating as much as they can individuals to go out into their own eco space or whatever you want to call it, their sphere of influence, to
Mm,
help the people that mean the most to them, to educate this individual so that individual can then turn to their family and educate them and get everyone that they possibly can meet and interact with the knowledge and education necessary to improve their life.
mm-hmm.
I don't know of any other company that's willing to put that much effort, that much money, that much time, that much dedication, that much of a labor force into educating the public, to go out and educate the public to do nothing but create a better society.
Exactly. Exactly. It's one of those things that it truly is about helping other people, not selling. And so that is just such a big deal. Like when you become a legionnaire, which is for people outside of the First Form ecosphere, it is an I guess an affiliate program on steroids where you
Yeah.
you're expected to go through education almost to the level of getting your NASM or
Mm-hmm.
ACSM certification in nutrition. Like it's crazy how in depth these things go, and it's because they don't want you to misrepresent anything by saying, "Hey, this protein will cure your cancer," or "This greens will, it'll fix your gluten problem." Like we're not out there saying stuff like that. We're genuinely saying, "Hey, let's figure out where your holes are, where your gaps are in your nutrition, and then supplementing, which is the purpose of supplements, is to
Mm-hmm.
fill gaps, not to replace. It's not replacements, it's supplements, right? So
They're
it's
tools. They're
something. Yeah,
tools.
exactly. They're tools. And so Tom went through and has helped enough people to have amazing results, which is the whole goal. One of the I don't know if it's the motto or there's a phrase though at First Form that is key, where it's helping real people have real long lasting results.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that Tom has done, and that's how he's earned that position as a sponsored trainer. It's not something that he necessarily filled out an application, went through an interview. He had to show the results before they offered that position to him, and
Yeah.
so that's something that he's earned. So with that being said, Tom, I guess let's kind of wrap things up with a nice bow here. What are your top
Yeah.
3 reasons why people who are looking for a community, looking to make changes here in 2024 and going forward long term, not just the first 3 months where everyone goes hard and then they fade out after, February, March. Uh, if they're looking for a community, and especially in the outdoor space, why First Form Outdoors over any other community?
So it'll probably come like my answer will be tied with just regular first form as well because it kind of goes with that. Uh,
Oh yeah.
but one I think is that community, like being that I've been in the Facebook group since the beginning of its fruition. Um, the people are the salt of the earth. Like the seeing comments constantly, seeing the posts, seeing everyone do the little introduction posts that they do. It's just the people you want to be around. Those are the people that you would want to fill your space with. You know what I mean? So like, and like it's cliche that you always say it's the people that make the party, but it really is. So like, already knowing so many people in this community, met people at different events, the whole deal, knowing people at HQ, having really deep relationships with individuals there. It is the people that make the party. So just the people alone are my number one reason. Two, because of what the motto is. I'm all about helping people. I've always been about helping people. I've always tried to seek out helping people. And that's what I think all the people, as far as like leaders in this community, have that same agenda. And I think the more people we get in the group, the more people we get in this community, the more people that, like I just emphasized in that number one, as this grows, I think it's just going to compound. And I think, and again, helping real people get real long lasting results is going to go across the board. And three, it's fun. Like I said, you kind of highlighted our little spear tip, our accountability group. It's a whole lot of shit talking. It's a whole lot of brotherhood. And that's what,
A
to
whole lot
me,
of burpees.
yeah, a lot of burpees. But that's what life's about. Life's about relationships. Again, obviously, all three very much tied to people. But again, I love people. I love those relationships. And if you're building a community, that's what you want.
Yeah. No, for
So
sure.
again, and two, like I guess I'm making a number four. Um, the outdoor space is so me. It's so like secluded, individualistic. It's you're on your own. You're always doing your own thing. There's not too many other areas and avenues to have a community in this space. I've always found that since like, and I'm not a lifelong hunter either. Like I've fished my whole life. You know, as a kid, like my grandma would toss like hot dogs. You know, I'm on the hook. Like we grew up. I grew up close to Chicago, so we didn't have any really deep seated hunting roots. Like we came from Ireland, like the whole deal. Like so, I was never raised as a hunter. I picked up hunting in my 30s, so I didn't. But even in my 30s, I had no uncles, no brothers, no dad. Like I'm out there on my own. I have nothing. There is no ties. I don't know what. I don't know. Like we get into conversations in that group about like tech for bow hunting. I'm just like I'm just gonna not say a word because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But it doesn't mean I don't
Yeah.
love it as much. It doesn't mean I don't want to learn. But again, like if you don't have something like this community to even ask that question, you got nothing.
Yeah. Exactly.
So not only
And
is
there
it
are.
the people, but it's the knowledge that comes with those people.
Yeah. Exactly. And the thing is, like, it's a community again. Like I hit on the no judgment zone, whatever, just kind of because I used to work at Planet Fitness years ago, and so I
Mm-hmm.
just kind of laughed about that. But the the idea that you can ask questions, and for the most part, unless you've asked the same question repeatedly, you don't get crap for asking a question. And that's
Mm-hmm.
something else too that I think is in, I guess, modern terminology, you'd call it a safe zone, but it's more just typically you are able to receive the education and people are not going to talk crap on you or talk down to you because you don't know. Now, again, if you've asked repeatedly, then it's going to be like, all right, dude, like, come on.
Yeah.
We'll give you crap for that.
Read a comment.
But exactly. Hey, there's a search option on Google. Okay.
Yeah.
Things like that. But the first one or two times you ask, like we're very, again, giving and sharing of information. And the other thing too with the outdoors, you hit on it, is it's a very kind of me and secluded thing with the first Phorm Outdoors. And there's other communities out there, there's other people out there that understand this common sense thing. But we've had a lot of experiences where people claim public land to be theirs, or it's their spot, or it's their deer, or it's their elk. It's like, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we're kind of educating on as well in the outdoor space is sharing these natural resources, having the conversation of, hey, dude, I'm going this way. I'd really appreciate it if you didn't mess up my stock on these elk that are over here. but also understanding that like you can't just sit there and be frustrated because someone's going the same direction as you. You know, being more open to sharing those things rather than being secluded and closed off. And then when you do, you know, kill something big or small, if it gets you excited, we're excited with you. We don't let people talk down on each other. You know, when someone kills a button buck thinking it was a doe kind of deal. And
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Well,
giving,
you see that.
I'm giving people
I've seen
credit.
that numerous times in the group array
Yeah,
where someone's like,
exactly.
or someone says, hey, I'm a meat guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, you might give me crap for catching a bass this big, you know, but like, like call them, hey, nice bait attached to the end of your line there. But you know, it's a good community where we can sit around and laugh. There's no hard feelings. We genuinely want each other to get better, and we understand that there's enough pieces of the pie that we can all share. And we understand that, you know, as people progress through the community and actually, you know, do the things that they're asked to do, and they have progress, they have success, we celebrate those wins with them. We don't sit there and say, oh man, like I wish I had done that kind of deal. We recognize the accomplishments that are done there. So I love that. I think you've hit on some really good points there. Is there anything else that you want to hit on before we wrap it up? Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's always stuff. There's always stuff in the works. I will say that there's always something brewing up in Jake's head and over at headquarters. But there's definitely some good things coming for 2024, and so look out for those. But guys, first off, Tom, where can they find you if they want to reach out to a giant for you know, just to chat with? Perfect. His other account is at the Jolly Green Giant. Uh, but yeah, yeah, I'm sure you've never heard that one. No, but we'll definitely. Man, I should have brought a can. I was so tempted. If we had had some green beans, I would have brought it up to held it and be like, "Hey, you see the resemblance?" No, but with that being said, I'm going to leave the link down below, guys, where you can find Tom and everything that he's got. If you have questions for him, as well as very knowledgeable guy, obviously earned the spot that he's in as a sponsor trainer with First Form, and a great part of the First Phorm Outdoors community. Guys, go check out the information that he's got and he's putting out on a regular basis. And also, I'm going to leave a link down below for you to join the First Phorm Outdoors community. I want you guys in there. You're going to meet some amazing individuals. Hopefully, your next hiking partner, maybe other families that you can go camping with this upcoming summer, spring, fall. Your next hunting buddy could be in there. Your next fishing buddy, whoever it is, guys, you will have a great time in this community. It's one of the only reasons why I still have a Facebook, to be honest with you. And we want to see you over there. So with that being said, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for coming on, Tom. I really appreciate you. And of course, get out, live your life, and love it.